I don't know whether Solskjaer wants to play with a bit more guile going forward, because that's what Trippier gives. But defensively, Wan-Bissaka is a better player than Trippier.
But here's a fact for everyone heading into the first game of the group stage of the UEFA Champions League. Swiss defender Alex Jankovic was sent off in the second minute during last season's Premier League match between Manchester United and Southampton, which the Saints lost 9-0. He never played in the Premier League and was sold to young boys, Terry. Can you imagine if you were one of the guys playing and you went 3-4 final down at half-time? What will the reception be for him?
Well, I mean,
but it's a good job he's only sub tonight.
Yeah, it is a good job he's only sub. I mean, what can you say for the poor fellow? But there you go.
He's on the bench today, Terry, mind you, but this is the formation for young boys. It's going to be a long 90 minutes.
It looks like they've gone like for like with Manchester United, doesn't it? In the way they've set up it. Out possession, they'll drop into a low block. They'll probably go 4-5-1 into a nice low tight block and stifle Manchester United's attack.
Let's have a look at Manchester United's starting lineup. 3 changes made. This is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now has at his disposal, Mark. He can make the changes. Fred comes in and the quality of the team is still the same. Sancho starts, Van de Beek. Huge night.
This is for him, you know, he's probably scratching his head why he hasn't played more. And I know a lot of the supporters have done the same. This is a huge night for him, you know, because he wants to try and cement himself into that team. It's going to be very, very difficult. But Solskjaer's got what he wanted now. He's got a squad where if you don't want to play Varane, you can put Lindelof in. You've even got Bailly in there as well. So he's got all really, really well. 7 assists already. Again, he's the one that should. And De Gea has done really, really well, as Terry said earlier on. They've got everything in front of them. Maguire, Varane. So he's going to be more confident in his game.
It's amazing what one transfer window can do.
It's absolutely amazing. You know, we've all been transferred somewhere along the lines, me and Mark.
You especially, right?
25,000, 10,000.
It's amazing the positivity at the moment that exists with Manchester United. Cristiano Ronaldo is back home. Varane is in the middle, but he doesn't start tonight. Sancho starts. Van de Beek gets a place in the starting 11 as well. Final words from the boys on the other side. Stay tuned.
Cricket coming back to Pakistan. It's not going to be easy for Pakistan.
New Zealand tour of Pakistan. First ODI, Friday 17th September, 3 p.m.
Good evening.
It's a one night a year.
When the WWE Universe gets extreme. We're advising all our viewers to watch.
But don't say we didn't warn you.
England women versus New Zealand women. First ODI, Thursday 16 September, 5:30 p.m. Live on Sony 6.
This match is brought to you by Lay's, UEFA Champions League sponsor.
boys. They have it all to do tonight. It's not an easy group for them. It never really is when you're in pot 4, Atalanta, Villarreal and the mighty Manchester United. They welcome the likes of David De Gea. Lindelof starts in place of Varane. Not bad replacement, the Swedish captain. Bruno, Pogba, Ronaldo. A big game for Van de Beek as well. Gentlemen, let's get your predictions in. Terry.
I think it'll be a comfortable night for Manchester United, to tell you the truth, and I think they'll go out 3 to 4-0 winners.
This is beautiful. This is a wonderful side after the 18-odd months that we had without supporters, to see them full house and really vocal. Mark, your predictions.
I think it's going to be an easy night for Man United, but the saving grace for young boys is they did win 4-0 at the weekend, so they've got goals in them, but I think this is just going to be too much for them, and they'll be trying to keep the scoreline down to get a reasonable result, but this should be all 4-0 as well.
Wow. Young boys have to put a mature display tonight against Manchester United. They are the heavyweights in European football, but these supporters, these are the moments I'm sure they dream about. To play in the UEFA Champions League, just the second time they are. Harry Maguire is leading the side. High on confidence, on top of the league in England, buoyed by the return of their own, that man, Cristiano Ronaldo. Will the Red Devils keep marching on, or will the young boys spoil the party? Before that, that man will line up and these guys will listen to this. I'm sure it is music to everyone's ears. Let's listen in to the Champions League anthem.
The young boys have only ever won one of their previous 8 matches against English opposition. That was the very first meeting when they beat Tottenham 3-2 at home in the first leg of the Champions League playoffs in 2010. Let's take a look at the team news, starting with the Swiss champions. Coach David Wagner makes 2 changes to the young boys' side that cruised to a 4-0 home win over FC Zurich at the weekend. Sandro Lauper comes into central defence in place of Cedric Zesiga, while further forward Vincent Sierro is preferred to the USA international Jordan Sibachu, who is named among the substitutes. Tonight's match officials are from France, led by referee Francois Letexier, who was on World Cup qualifying duty recently for the Greece-Kosovo match. Donny van der Beek starts for the first time this season as Manchester United make 3 changes to Saturday's starting 11 that saw off Newcastle 4-1 in the Premier League. Mason Greenwood drops to the bench, while Fred comes in for Nemanja Matic in midfield, and Victor Lindelof replaces Rafael Varane in central defence. Cristiano Ronaldo equals the all-time Champions League record this evening, 177 appearances, bringing him level with Iker Casillas. So preliminaries almost done, we're almost ready to go. The first match day of the Champions League, and on an artificial surface as well in Switzerland. Final checks for the French referee. We have VAR, of course, as well tonight. Willy Delachaux from France is the video assistant referee. As the players take the knee before the kick-off. And now we're ready to go in Group F. The Champions League group stage is underway, and Manchester United playing in their change strip of blue and white, kicking from left to right in the first half, and already venturing forward, but it will be a throw-in. The ball just bobbling out of play off Paul Pogba. Well, there's the Manchester United manager, Efan. He knows that really he needs to get some silverware in the cupboard by the end of the season, really, doesn't he, with the squad that he's got, the moves that they've made.
I would suggest that he would still get a pass for one more season, unless, you know, their form was terrible enough that they finish outside the top four or so many points behind whoever are champions in England and disappoint in all cup competitions. But yes, I would say that they need to be challenging for pretty much everything, and a trophy, of course, is almost expected at Man United. So it's been a while, and you know, they need to deliver. As you said, with the recruitment they've made, there are absolutely no excuses.
We saw a little shot there as well of the new coach of Young Boys of Bern, David Wagner, who'll be a familiar face to those who follow the Premier League. He was with Huddersfield Town a few seasons ago, led them to the promised land for a couple of years.
Yeah, wasn't able to maintain that, of course, and had an extremely disappointing spell in charge of Schalke, a giant in the Bundesliga. They've been relegated now, but you know, the rot has set in after a couple of early good months when he was, good early months I should say, when he was in charge. It was all downhill from about November.
I do remember a famous Huddersfield win. They were 2-1 victors over Manchester United at home in their first season in the Premier League back in October of 2017.
And the style of football. That was good play. It's a great timing of a little shoulder shove on Fred. Certainly not a foul. Doesn't catch it cleanly, actually, and it just goes through the legs of Victor Lindelof, I believe. Yeah, through the legs of Sui, and De Gea's got that one covered, making sure he doesn't get fingertip touch to it.
Yeah, Alia, an international for DR Congo, scored at the weekend in that 4-0 win against FC Zurich. He got one in the qualifying round against Ferencvaros as well. Young Boys have already played 6 matches in this season's competition just to get to this point, winning their 3 home games and scoring 3 goals in each of them.
And a couple of cracking matches against Ferencvaros to finally get to the stage.
Cleared away by Sylvain Hefti. Up to Elia once again. This is Pogba with a little dink. Challenge on Bruno Fernandes. Here's Luke Shaw. Lovely little dink into the penalty area where Sancho was waiting. First touch for David von Balmus, the goalkeeper of Young Boys. Missed a few matches already this season with a hamstring problem, but back for the last 3 before tonight. Looking for Ulysses Garcia on the near side, the ball just bouncing away from Ngamaleu. Van de Beek.
Big night for him. I would imagine that no matter what he does, this evening. It'll be very difficult for him to maintain his place in the starting lineup, but he's just got to show the Manchester United head coach and the rest of the staff, of course, just exactly what he can do. Play his way in because he's seen very little game time, but also trying to force the issue when given the opportunity. Playing in that more central role alongside the Brazilian Fred, so we'll see whether he's got at some point the licence to get forward. Pogba started on the left, but could be some interchange between those two position-wise.
Exchange with Luke Shaw, who's then dispossessed by Christian Fasnacht. The back with Ahmed Kamara, the Guinea international. He was on World Cup duty earlier this month. Played every minute of all of the 6 qualifiers in the Champions League to get them into this group stage. Tricky group as well, with Atalanta and Villarreal. Here's Fred, who had a rest at the weekend, back in this evening. Now in midfield with Sierro, one of the 2 players coming into the young boys lineup, threading it through and covered by Lindelof.
If they have willing runners from the middle of the park, actually.
Good play by Ulysses Garcia there, winning the ball back for a moment.
You know, it's a little bit vulnerable through the middle of the park, I feel, with not having, sorry, middle of the park, to the middle of the defence, and not having pacey centre-halves. Varane's absence today shouldn't be a big factor. And certainly a smart movement around Harry Maguire. We'll see a couple of yellow and black shirts, I think, getting behind his centre-half. And Lindelof, who's, we wouldn't call him a slouch, but he's not the quickest to cover his defensive teammate.
Chase covered and cleared away by Laupa into Umi and Gamalu. Fred just dropping a little bit deeper to collect the ball here. Good start by Manchester United to the new season so far, domestically, taking 10 points from a possible 12 from their opening 4 matches. The match they've dropped points in was a trip to the South Coast and a draw with Southampton. Convincing home wins against Leeds and Newcastle, also beat Wolves as well. I think he's starting to settle into life at Old Trafford now as well, Jadon Sancho.
I'll give him 2 months, to just see how many games he's played, how he's gelling with the rest of the players. Certainly style-wise, you wouldn't imagine it'd be a problem. He's a very clever footballer, somebody who makes good decisions in the final third. Not always the case with young players; they tend to be quite erratic. But I was impressed with his performances while playing for Borussia Dortmund.
FD sends it forward and then goes to receive the pass back, but it's rapidly intercepted by the Manchester United captain.
He's incisive and unselfish, Jadon Sancho, with a good number of goals and even better number of assists. That's what ultimately he will be judged on.
I have to say, he was an absolute delight at times.
The stakes have been raised. He's come to a bigger club with greater expectations, so he has to do it. He's playing with better players all round, and he won't get too many opportunities to be below par and expect to remain in the team.
Here's Aaron Wan-Bissaka embarking on his 3rd season at Old Trafford. If you're sitting at home and thinking the pitch looks
pristine,
perfect,
yeah.
It's because
it is.
It is. It's an artificial pitch that they're playing on in the Champions League this evening.
Yes, the quality of the pitches these days are very high standard. In some ways they're not too much different from natural grass, and certainly can withstand all types of weather. And they'll get a fair bit of adverse weather in Switzerland.
Nudged forward by Fred. That's Van der Beek going for it in the air. Collected by Fernandes. Now Wan-Bissaka. He's holding off the challenge of Garcia there. Fernandez put under pressure by Elia, who's put himself about well in the opening 10 minutes of the match. Maguire finding Shaw, little bit of space. Fernandez making the run through the middle, unable to collect the ball. Still Bruno Fernandes in towards Sancho. Lumian Gamalu challenged and fouled by Donny van der Beek.
Didn't need to go to ground. Did not need to commit. It's a long way from goal. Of course, you know, players will say, well, I'm sure I was going to get the ball. But he's nowhere near.
Yeah, big season for Van der Beek. First start for him for Manchester United this season tonight. He made his first appearance of the season at the weekend, got 6 minutes against Newcastle.
Yes, I know they want to get off to a good start, Manchester United, but really this is a tie that would have said it's a possibility, an opportunity actually to give a few fringe players some valuable minutes.
Fred sends it forward, Ronaldo out wide, collected by Fernandes. Here's Shaw. Too far for United's number 7, comfortable for Von Balmus.
Yeah, that's never too bad a ball. It's got to be driven with a lot more pace and a little bit lower as well. Ronaldo will outjump most players on the far post.
Opa away, forward by Mumi and Gamalu. A nice little touch there, out wide off Abisha. And here comes Mishak. Elia once again, who's quick and lively and causing problems for Lindelof as it flashes right across the 6-yard box.
Well, that's great play. He wanted actually somebody just making that run into the 6-yard box. Some 10 or so yards further out, but in truth it wasn't a great ball. It was an unfriendly cross, I would call it. So much pace on it, and it doesn't need to be. Look how close he is. He's on the 6-yard line. Just slide that ball across, and somebody who's a little bit slow to get there just may have a chance at the far post. Good signs from Meshak Elia.
Pressure put on Sancho there by the fullback Garcia, who won his first caps for Switzerland earlier this month against Greece and Italy.
A good time to be a Swiss national player. That's tremendous Euros they had.
But there's room here for Shaw. Now Bruno Fernandes. Sancho in the middle, and there at the far post was Cristiano Ronaldo to find the back of the net before Van Balmus could get the ball away. And on his first appearance in the Champions League in a Manchester United shirt for a dozen years, Cristiano Ronaldo picks up where he left off. And with the first opportunity of the match, gets the ball over the line. He's onside, and Manchester United have the lead.
It's a great ball, isn't it, from Bruno Fernandes? And Ronaldo is on the move. He's coming right around the outside of Ulises Garcia. Really doesn't have a look at all, does he, to see where the Portuguese superstar is. When the body shape of Fernandes says he's going to play that with the outside of the boot. And it's an opportunity for two players, I think, the left-sided defender, Lopa and Garcia, to cut that one out. They didn't. And there's the usual end to a move like that, a goal.
And on the night when he makes a record equaling 177th appearance in the competition proper, he scores his 135th goal. Didn't take him long, did it, Efan? Less than 15 minutes.
No, first opportunity. I wouldn't say it was a lacklustre opening to the game by Manchester United, but I was just about to say as well, as you mentioned, the draw at Southampton, it's the type of opponent where United slipped up against, too often last season. Underwhelming too many full 90 minutes, but certainly not always. There's the goal again. Fernandes, it's a brilliant ball. He just put it into the space. He's expecting a run from Ronaldo. It comes. There's great familiarity, of course, between these two players, both starring for the national side. And there's the expected result. 135 in 167, is it? You said it's special.
Yeah, 135 in 177.
77 years. When he retires at some point, if he doesn't get a goal a game ratio, someone will have to ask him what happened in those matches where you messed up. He's been that good, you know, since about 2006-07.
Well, it hasn't dampened down the spirits of the home crowd any. Still doing their bit for their team as young boys endeavour to venture forward over the halfway line up towards Elliot. It was a stretch for Sierro. Just gets away from Fasnacht. Fernandes back into Van de Beek. Ronaldo wants it on the near side. Wan-Bissaka is there in support if required.
He will make less of those darting movements. He's got to conserve energy, even in the fantastic shape he's in at 36 years of age. You know, so there won't be too many of those 30-40-yard runs with a few step overs and shots, but his movement in and around the box will be even better than it was.
Another promising combination with his compatriot Bruno Fernandes there.
Because his positioning will be far superior to how it was 12 years ago, knowing that he doesn't have the legs to quite make those long runs.
Yeah, that was the point I was just going to make to you when he said that. I agree, there aren't going to be quite so many of those long bursting runs, but there aren't many players better at knowing exactly where to be at any given moment inside the penalty area.
Yeah, all strikers improve their knowledge of positioning as they get older. Now you can say that, depending on how long you played as a striker, but probably at the age of 31, 32 is when everything is pretty much at its peak. Physically, you're not quite the same, but mentally you are sharper than ever.
But there was an element of that, wasn't there, in the first goal that he scored against Newcastle at the weekend? You know, it wasn't a spectacular goal, but it didn't need to be because he was in the right place when the ball came his way.
He just sensed it. You know, all the Newcastle defenders were all ball watching. He was ball watching and moving at the same time. They settled into a 4-5-1, largely defending kid. Young boys, as I said, they're not playing with the kind of tempo, certainly not trying to retrieve the ball, and that's why some David Wagner's men. Michel Herbischer is the one who's got a little bit more license to get forward and support Meshak Elliott.
Forward by Bruno Fernandes.
But they've seen so little of the ball in terms of a creative force in the Manchester United half that attacking players not able to get anything going except Elliott up front, but he's not had enough service. Shown what he can do.
Perfect start to the Champions League campaign for Manchester United. An early goal on the road.
Can't blame Van Bommel too much. That ball was not hit, it was side-footed, wasn't it? Went for control, Ronaldo, in between his legs.
Yeah, just frustrating for the goalkeeper. Decent record at home, actually, young boys in Europe. They have only won one Champions League match before. That was at home, actually, against Juventus in their last game. 3 seasons ago, a 2-1 win. Here's Lindelof now. Wan-Bissaka.
Important to start off with a win. As I said, they'll face two superior sides, it has to be said, in Villarreal and Atalanta, coached by two very well respected coaches.
Lovely ball through to Luke Shaw. Two to aim at in the middle. It was Ronaldo with his arm in the air. Jadon Sancho in the box too. Fernandes finding Shaw. Collected by Fred. Well, he'll be happy enough, won't he, 20 minutes in?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's well versed in European football as a player, so he will know that these games are not all about playing at Premier League tempo for long periods. Yes, you can do it in a little burst. Players sometimes just have to reacquaint themselves with at this stage. It shouldn't take long, you'd imagine. Certainly by the end of this game, they'll feel as if, well, you know, we're back on this road again.
Yeah, many trips to Switzerland, certainly not a given for Manchester United. They've had a mixed bag of results. They've won 2 and lost 2 of the 4 previous visits, and they've lost twice at Basel inside the last decade. Decent stuff so far for them with that 13th minute goal from Cristiano Ronaldo. This is Michel Aebischer finding Christian Fasnacht. Now Hefty
well played.
Wins his team a corner.
One of United's failings over the last 18 months or so is that they've not been able to put some of these lesser teams to the sword. Losing in the Europa League final to Villarreal was a huge blow. They'll get some kind of revenge, if you like, in inverted commas, if they can win home and away against them in the coming weeks.
Can the home side find a route back into the match via this set play? It was Camara going for it. United only half clearing the ball. That's Pogba beaten by the bounce. Potentially another opportunity. Camara in the air again.
Took it away from his teammate.
Mumi and Gamalo trying to get the shot in, and Ulysses Garcia is ready to take the throw.
Well, I suppose Kamara had to jump for that ball. Wan-Bissaka would have cleared it quite easily if he hadn't done, but maybe a player used to playing and being in that position more often, but it just leaned into the Man United fullback and made sure that he couldn't play the ball.
Melia waits in the middle, and Sierro can't keep hold of possession.
Pogba mistimes his attempt. It's a lovely ball to the back post as Kamara just lean into Wan-Bissaka. It's high for you. I suppose, you know, he's probably seen the goal and the ball in his sights, thinking this could be 1-1.
He's made a good start to the season in front of goal. Bruno Fernandes, 4 in 4 in the Premier League. That hat-trick in the season opener against Leeds United at Old Trafford. Here's Christopher Martins Pereira. Fred wins it back for Manchester United. Now it's with Jadon Sancho. Chance for Garcia to bring it away. Midway through the first half, team separated by Cristiano Ronaldo's 13th minute goal. This is Sylvain Hefty, the 23-year-old right back.
Well, it's only in the last 3 or so minutes that young boys have enjoyed a bit of possession. Not quite the fevered atmosphere that we had for the Ferencváros tie, either home or away. Not yet, anyway.
Upper away to the far side, where it's collected by Fasnacht, who looks to tee himself up, brings the save from De Gea. Well, that's the best we've seen from young boys so far tonight. Sancho looks to counter. Support here from Bruno Fernandes. And now the home side are backpedaling rapidly. Ronaldo's got the ball. And this time, Von Balmos is able to repel United's advances.
Here's a shot from Fasnacht. It goes through just around a couple of Manchester United players. Fred has got his hands behind his back, but really should be getting out to try and close that ball down. It's a good save.
Well, good play at both ends of the field. Nice attacking flow to this match as Luke Shaw finds Sancho. Young boys will look to counter themselves now. Shaw tussling with Fasnacht.
Yeah, Shaw's quick.
Shaw had the pace to deal with that one.
Shot again from Fasnacht. That's well hit. It's not quite in the corner. He eventually gets a good sight of the ball. It's a Ronaldo shot. Just that full stretch. That's a nice, comfortable height for the goalkeeper. It's a routine save. Actual pass, to be honest, Simon, from Bruno Fernandes wasn't great. It wasn't in forward of Ronaldo. He had to sort of wait and then collect it. He'd had the option, I think, to be able to come on his right foot if it had been a slightly better pass.
His eyes lit up at the hint of an opportunity, didn't they? The challenge by the central defender for young boys, Mohamed Kamara. And this isn't a bad spot from Manchester United's point of view.
Oh, dare I say it, they don't need Ronaldo on the ball. They don't score free kicks anymore. Fernandes is pretty adept at these situations. Pogba's not bad if he gets the opportunity. Yeah, even the great players know when they're not needed.
But if the ball drops anywhere near the goal, he'll be there.
Yes, he'll become a specialist in tap-ins, Ronaldo, over the next year or two, or however long he plays. That was planned, but it was a premature pass, so he wasn't on the same wavelength quickly enough.
So plan A not quite coming off. What can they do with a throw in here? It's Wan-Bissaka who will take it. Van der Beek is available, so is Sancho. Lindelof.
They're just happy to let Ronaldo just move across that front line, aren't they, and have the three behind him. Oh, it's actually Pogba, Fernandes and Sancho. There's not been any interchange between the two wider players. Of course, Van der Beek has remained alongside Fred in the middle of the park.
Pogba is turning into trouble. They doubled up on him pretty quick, and young boys maybe with a chance to break here. Referee lets it go, and Ronaldo has the ball and picks out Sancho with an excellent pass. Bruno Fernandes is in the centre here. It's Jadon Sancho, and that's a good challenge from Garcia. Very promising situation from Manchester United's point of view for a moment or two there.
Yeah, that's a very unlike Jadon Sancho result in the end. Very decisive.
Bishop playing it back, and now finally finds its way to Kamara and Lauper.
You asked me if he was settling, didn't you, about some 20 or so minutes ago? He said it will take him a while. I think if anybody's going to feel as if his nose has been put out of joint, I would imagine it's probably going to be him more than anyone, alongside Anthony Martial. I think the others, being Manchester United bred players, I think will sort of accept it a little bit more willingly. Rashford, when he comes back from injury, certainly Greenwood as well.
Greenwood on the bench tonight. He's made an excellent start to the season, scoring in each of the first 3 matches in the league.
For me, it's quite clear that he's not ready to play as a centre forward yet.
Manchester United now with a squad that's big enough to make an element of rotation, particularly with the additions that they've made during the summer. That's Shaw battling on the far side, losing out this time to Sylvain Hefti. Van der Beek steps in ahead of Elia. Now Maguire, who was on target for England during the recent World Cup qualifiers, scored in their 4-0 win in Hungary earlier in the month. Pogba. Ronaldo and Fernandes with the nutmeg that finds Wan-Bissaka, who has Sancho in support. Van de Beek. Now Fred. He put that on the forehead of Ronaldo.
Yeah, just need a little bit more height on that one. Still gets up quite well, doesn't he, for a veteran, Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah, he still has that spring-heeled leap. 15 minutes remaining in the first half, and it is Manchester United's new number 7 who scored the goal that separates the two teams. This is Van de Beek. Sancho gives it away. Elia's throw. Ngamalu back into Lopa, and now it's collected by Christopher Martins Pereira back in with Sierra.
Well, I don't think the game being stretched actually suits young boys at Bern, and also they don't have the quality to break Manchester United down when the away side get 9 or 10 outfield players behind the ball. Keep plugging away, make sure that defensively you are solid enough, and a little bit sharper, of course, when anything's been played into Ronaldo, and then hope that Man United may become a little bit complacent.
Awkward fall there for Paul Pogba in midfield, but the home side looking to press once more, and it was Michael Abischer.
Yeah, I just think that's play on. Pogba gets up. Sierra decides not to really challenge for the ball. As well to hold off Fred, and then just a little bit wild with a strike at goal. I think Pogba would actually prefer to play alongside Fred in the middle of the park. He can dictate a few things, and it's a nice ability to find players further forward. Fernandes pulls off defenders pretty easily.
Wan-Bissaka.
Unfortunately for Donny van der Beek, he's not a specialist, and watched him quite a few times now before he came to Old Trafford, and so you wonder what his best qualities are. And when you, at some point in your career, you're still quite a young player, or relatively young, but you have to define a role for yourself. Sometimes your coaches will think, you could play there, and then you end up being moved around and become a utility player, which is not going to, as I said, don't become a specialist. You find it hard to hold down any role inside.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka gets the throw. Here's Van de Beek. Shaw. Steady opening 33 minutes for Manchester United. Victor Lindelof. Van de Beek trying to bring Bruno Fernandes into the play, but quickly challenged by Garcia. Manchester United with a very good record on match day 1 in the Champions League. They've lost only 2 of their previous 23 such games, winning the last 3 of them, ahead so far tonight. Lindelof wins the ball. Fred's there.
And that should be a last resort ball to try and play a 30-40 yard pass up to Meshak Elia. Shown he's already adept at manoeuvring opposing players off the ball. Certainly strong enough, but somebody brave enough to receive it and just make that pass at least half the distance. Got a better chance then of running away from 1 or 2 of the centre halves, because both full-backs will like to get forward, so there'll be chances if they're brave enough with their play in the middle. That was a clumsy challenge.
Yeah, Wan-Bissaka was really stretching there, wasn't he? And there's going to be a card, and it's a straight red card for Aaron Wan-Bissaka of Manchester United, with just over 10 minutes to go to half-time. He was suddenly stretching into that challenge.
Yeah, that's the way he defends. Oh, yeah. I said it was clumsy. I thought there's no need for him to lunge at all. He's got forward, but not to great effect. That's a poor challenge. Poor challenge, I mean.
Yeah, Martins Pereira right over the top of his ankle.
It's the way that he actually lunges forward. We see it so often in the Premier League, and he may or not have got away with that at domestic level, but on the European stage, just that little bit harsher. And
he just lost control of the situation, didn't he, for a moment there?
Trying to rectify things, totally unnecessary. Like I said, he's not outside his box, is he? It's not last 2-3 minutes of the game, and they're desperately holding on to a lead. That's a poor decision he's taken. I've got to say, I can't blame the referee at all. As I said, it looked clumsy to begin with. I didn't realise there was that much contact. You have to say that. I think it's a fair decision.
So Aaron Wan-Bissaka, having spoken to Christopher Martins Pereira to check that he's okay.
If he goes to ground with that,
if
he goes to ground with that challenge and his studs are leading, he may still get a red card, but people think that it's a better attempt at actually, playing the ball. And he's a converted winger, and sometimes, players who come from the front to the back, they actually don't learn the art of tackling. And it's, as I said, it's more of a lunge, trying to almost control the ball for yourself. But in that situation, as you said, it's away from him. Discretion is a better part of valor. Not going to lose anything, your team, and not going to be punished that often, that quickly. Not against young boys, against a better team if you allow the opponent to play the ball.
Well, it's just good to see that the young boys midfielder's back on his feet.
Yeah. That was a meaty challenge. Well, that was quick.
Yeah, Jadon Sancho, the player sacrificed, and Diogo Dalot on for United. He was on loan at Milan last season. Diogo Dalot hasn't had much game time at all, just 1 minute away at Wolves so far this season before tonight. Sat on the bench otherwise, and well, an opportunity for him that he wouldn't have been expecting at this point just a couple of minutes ago as he sat on the bench watching the game.
Absolutely. Well, even if
young boys threatening here as the shot goes right across the face of the goal, and that was a real opportunity to strike back straight away, with United having gone down to 10. Fasnacht racing in on the far side.
Got to hit the target. Yeah, he goes to control it, actually not hitting it with too much power. It's a measured shot, but it just flashes by the post. Really should be 1-1. Straight up from Man United. Just went a little bit vulnerable, and one or two players need to reorganise themselves. The Swiss side get a chance, and it's not taken.
Oh, it was close for David Wagner's team, so close. But encouragement for them. They've had a couple of decent attempts on David De Gea's goal, that one, and De Gea was required to make a full-length save a little earlier in the half.
And he should have been saving one, at least trying to save it then.
Diogo Dalot, the substitute, getting involved in the attacking play, and Pogba just outmanoeuvred there. Young boys sensing the hint of an opportunity, but Dalot now finds Fred, who's got Ronaldo on the near side.
Well, that red card has ignited the crowd, hasn't it? Still got to keep their composure, make sure that they don't feel as if they have to equalise before half-time. Well, that goal, wouldn't it? Well, that shot from Fasnacht that ended up at the back of the net. That would have been a real punishment. Double one for Manchester United.
It wasn't far from ending up in the back of the net either. Here's Mumi Ngamalu back into Vincent Sierro. Pogba popping up at left back. And, a little bit wayward on this occasion from Avisha.
Yeah, Sancho had a disappointing 35 or so minutes anyway, but I think even if he'd had a wow of a game, he would have been the likely one to have been replaced. He's certainly not going to take Pogba, Fernandes or Ronaldo off. And Donny van der Beek coming into the side for the first time this season. that wouldn't have gone down well, wouldn't it, if he didn't want to be replaced? And he put Pogba alongside Fred. It's clear, isn't it, to see there's a pecking order, isn't there? No matter how much you cost. He's a young kid. Come on, off you go.
Here comes Garcia now. Young boys have got an added spring in their step now. Looking for a big final 5 minutes of this opening half. Ngamalu's got some support from Garcia. Couldn't find a way past Van der Beek. Lovely flighted ball there from Bruno Fernandes. But those in yellow and black are buzzing around now, sensing an opportunity. Maguire waiting for it on that occasion, and there will be a free kick for the challenge on Luke Shaw.
Well, Sylvain Hefty was having a little sneaky look at the referee, wasn't he? Thinking, was that going to go my way? Hand over one eye. And it's a genuine attempt, isn't it? And yeah, you quite see where he sure is. Did Man United full-back take one in the chin as well? He didn't take it in the forehead. No matter what he's doing with his hands.
He's had a good 12 months, hasn't he, Luke Shaw?
He's been excellent, I think, for longer than that. He's had his injuries at Man United. But he's a strong guy. He needs to play. He needs to be in the team and playing. He's had a long run.
He had a great season, didn't he, last season, and then did really well at the Euro in the summer. Got that goal in the final against Italy for England.
Now you would expect the young boys even, to enjoy some possession early on in the second half. Man United have still got enough quality to trouble them and to even at times dominate play, but David Wagner, I think, has got to use the watchword of patience at half-time to say, you know, it's not going to be the first 10 or so minutes of second half, no matter how much possession we have, that we can tire this team out.
Team working hard to get forward quickly, and Elliott.
That's if they see enough of the ball, of course, and stretch United across the field as much as possible.
Martins Pereira with the layoff. Sierro comfortable enough for De Gea. Had plenty of time to see that one coming.
Yeah. There's enough on the Man United forward line who don't particularly want to do too much defending. And no matter what the fullbacks say and trying to pull them back, Ronaldo, Fernandes and Pogba will be thinking forward, forward, forward. It's one of those meetings where you don't say anything.
It's quite a thoughtful-looking Manchester United bench at the moment.
I wouldn't have thought there's too much for them to actually be concerned about, to be honest. I mean, they are a goal. Of course, they are down to 10 men, but they would have studied this young boys team over the last couple of weeks and seen that not likely to be outplayed. So discipline for them and making sure that whoever the attackers are on the field, so that they have a responsibility to do some defensive work, and then expect a couple of changes midway through the second half if the team gets a bit stretched and one or two are not doing their job or look a little bit tired. Nemanja Matic may make an appearance. He get 20 or so minutes, probably in place of Donny van der Beek. Give some experience and calmness in the middle of the park.
Thought Pogba rather expecting a throw in there. Last minute of the opening 45. Noise and support from the home crowd is constant inside the stadium.
Elliot missed it. Came over a couple of bodies, so it's never easy to judge a flight. You just momentarily take your eye off the ball. I'd like to see they've been getting some crosses in, haven't they? It's making the Man United backline work.
Yeah, absolutely. Martins Pereira to the near side. Garcia losing out to Dalot. Not long for Manchester United to see it out to the break. With that slender advantage, Garcia's delivery, not a bad one. Met by the head of Maguire, comes back out to Sierro. Van de Beek gets his foot in there. And now once more it's with Laupus. Mohamed Kamara alongside him. Minimum of 1 added minute.
They've had nothing through the middle, have they, all night, Simon? But they've had a few good crosses. Garcia just put in a wonderful delivery.
Martins Pereira just floating that one in, and Elliot
that was wild.
Fluffing the queue on the edge of the penalty area there. Yellow card for Fasnacht. French referee quick to step in and wave the card. Let's have a look at the challenge again here.
Got some of the ball. They both got it at the same time, and the follow through caught Fred on the top of the boot, which can be very painful. Decent half, some annoyance for Ole Gunnar.
देखो मुझे ना बताना इसे कैसे है खाना बस भूख की फिकर नो अदर बहाना ये मेरा चीज है ब्रेड में लगाऊं या रोटी में खाऊं मेल्ट करूं ग्रेट करूं ऐसे ही दबाऊं तेरी फूफू बातें रख तेरे पास ये मेरा चीज है जमा इंडिया का नया स्वैग है क्यूब है स्पाइस टेस्टी डायनामाइट है स्पेशल भी सबका अपना भी ये मेरा ये तेरा ये मेरा अमूल चीज है
Oh, brilliant! Harleen Siol pulled off a cracker.
It's time to celebrate the Super Women in Blue as they take on the mighty Australians. India Tour of Australia starts Tuesday, 21st September.
On Sony Sports Network.
खुश है ये आसमां ज़मीन हर तरफ छाए हैं हम ये ऐसी कूल है अपनी कहानी चिल करके जीनी जवानी चलने दे बस दिल की मनमानी I'm cool, chill your bill. I'm cool, chill your bill. I'm cool, chill your bill.
What a vulgar display of power! It's better get it. Carla Claymore kick!
Hot, action-packed entertainment of WWE on Sony 10.1 and in Tamil and Telugu on the new Sony 10.4.
पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कर आता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
cricket coming back to Pakistan. It's not going to be easy for Pakistan.
New Zealand tour of Pakistan. First ODI, Friday 17th September, 3 p.m.
First appearance for Manchester United in the UEFA Champions League after almost a dozen seasons. 16th consecutive season that man has scored in this competition. He is the difference maker at the halfway mark. It is interesting. We'll get to that. Young Boys 0, Manchester United 1 in the company of Terry Phelan and Mark Seagraves. Mark, what do you make of the first 45?
First 10 or 15 minutes, comfortable. Got the goal that they needed and wanted, but then obviously the sending off's going to affect the game. I don't know how they're going to come out second half, whether they're going to go ultra defensive or they're still going to try and get that second goal. But, you know, it's going to be up against it because, as we've seen in the latter stages of the first half, Young Boys have had some opportunities.
Let's have a look at the goal scored by the man himself, Cristiano Ronaldo. 13th minute, always on the move, Terry.
Well, it's a great ball, isn't it, for Fernando there. Well, I mean, if you look at the defender, and I think Ronaldo here, he's had a check of his head. The defender's ball watching. If you look at the ball outside of the foot, Ronaldo comes in on the back post, in behind the defender. Defender's played him onside with his foot, believe it or not, you know, and he's put it in the back of the net. That's what Ronaldo does at his best. Go on, Matt.
Similar goal to the weekend. He got lucky there, Ronaldo. I mean, the keeper could have done a little bit better. But it was all about his awareness and his movement, as Terry said. The defender had he couldn't see where he was, and he was on his shoulder. And the ball in dictated, and you know, he does what he does best, Ronaldo.
He has celebrated this occasion, 177 appearances in the UEFA Champions League with his 135th goal in the competition. That is absolutely remarkable. He is now 15 clear of Lionel Messi. The goal ratio per game is outstanding as well, 0.76. Cristiano Ronaldo has now played as many UEFA Champions League games as Arsenal and, Terry, your former club, Chelsea.
Well, what can I say? I mean, what can you say about him? You know, he's laughing, isn't he? If it's not Chelsea, it's Manchester City. So what can I say? If it's not them, it's Everton. I mean, if it's not them, it's Leeds United. So I can't say too much. But no, listen. At the end of the day, you know, his awareness, you know, and the ball in at the end of the day was absolutely fantastic. But his awareness to see where the defender was looking and just get on the blind side of him was unbelievable.
The scary thing for me is he left 12 years ago and he's come back equally as important as he was when he left.
Yeah.
That tells you all about the man himself.
Yeah, different role this time around, 12 years later. David De Gea, in this sequence of events, pulled off a really good save. Terry, Young Boys had a few moments in the first half. A good save by the Spanish goalkeeper, which resulted, Terry, in a counter. Ronaldo could have scored as well. Man United, when Young Boys try to go offensive, are a threat on the counter.
They sure are, and we've seen it there. We was to roll that back. Pogba doesn't get tight. They have a shot. Great. It's a great palm of the hand by De Gea. It's gone back out, and then they go down the other end and they get a shot on goal. For me, that's what Manchester United are the best at, counter-attacking from deep areas, that getting young boys coming forward, then counter-attacking them. If they can do that a little bit more, it's going to be...
They're going to have to do it now.
I mean, in the second half, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to be able to do that because they're one man less, and young boys might come on to them a little bit more.
And this is why they are one man down. Rush of blood, Mark, for Aaron Van Bissaka.
Silly foul. He just pushed it too far. See, his touch wasn't great.
You called it, Mark, immediately.
Yeah, I mean, it was a terrible tackle, and you know, it could have been a leg breaker, an ankle breaker, and he deserved to go off. But it was all about his first touch. We know Van Bissaka going forward is not that great, but that is a really...
Well, I'm wondering why he's in there anyway in the first place. You know, because he's way advanced for his area, and he's in into the field, but it's a poor touch, isn't it? And we see it probably week in and week out from him. He's not the greatest going forward, and he's liable to do one of those tackles. And tonight's the wrong night to really do it, because Manchester United have to get something out of the game. The 1-0 up, you can't afford to go a man down.
Potentially the game can change because of that incident. Fashnat as well, Mark, later on in the first half, had a great opportunity to level things.
To be honest with you, young boys have had lots of opportunities, from the first one where De Gea palmed it out to chances like this. And Man United have got to be really resolute second half. I think they will play on the counter-attack, because that's the way they're going to have to do it. Whether they leave Ronaldo on all game or put someone else with a little bit more legs in there. But they need to be really resolute and defend really well.
In both the games, the away side have scored already. Let's have a look at the halfway mark at both the games. It is 1 apiece. Sevilla have scored late on to equalise things remarkably. Salzburg in the first half had 3 penalties. They missed 2 of them, and they have scored just 1. Rakitic scoring for Sevilla to equal things. Manchester United are feature game, the man down.
Well, it is, isn't it? And this is where Pogba's
at both the games. It is 1 apiece. Sevilla have scored late on to equalise things remarkably. Salzburg in the first half had 3 penalties. They missed 2 of them, and they have scored just 1. Rakitic scoring for Sevilla to equal things. Manchester United are feature game, the man down.
Well, it is, isn't it? And this is where Pogba's, your Ronaldo's. This is where you really.
Rakitic scoring for Sevilla to equal things. Manchester United are feature game, the man down.
Well, it is, isn't it? And this is where Pogba's, your Ronaldo's. This is where you really. Your Ronaldo's. This is where you really want him showing up to calm presence down and see if he can come away with the 3 points.
A leading Dallo has come off, has gone off. You can understand the decision there.
Yeah, as I say. They've got to defend resolutely, as we've said. They've got to take this, when they say they've got to defend, means the life to them. It's going to be a hard fought. Minutes for Manchester United.
It's going to be a very interesting 45 minutes if you win his 177 petition.
5 minutes for Manchester United.
It's going to be a very interesting 45 minutes if you win his 177 petition.
Minutes for Manchester United.
It's going to be a very interesting 45 minutes if you win his 177 petition.
5 minutes for Manchester United.
It's going to be a very interesting 45 minutes if you win his 177 petition.
Mansour in one day. Shafali, an exciting young talent.
An unstoppable force, go to one.
It's time to celebrate the Super Women in Blue as they clash with Australia. India live on Sony Sports Event.
What a vulgar display of power.
Entertainment of WWE on Sony 10.1 and in Tamil Telugu on the new Sony 10.4.
Good evening. We're advising.
बन गयो की बौछार 700 आविष्कार हो गया आधुनिक घर बार दुनिया भर में नाम कमाए साल होया पूरा है 75 रे मेरो तेर गयो है
This match is brought to you by Lay's, UEFA Champions League sponsor. The Champions League sponsor.
Stadium in Bern. Young boys trailing Manchester United by the slenderest of margins. Chris the goal in the third. Jordan Sibatu. Stadium in Bern. Young boys trailing Manchester United by the slenderest of margins. Chris the goal in the third. Jordan Sibatu. Getting ready to come on for the home side. Manchester looking as though they have a change as well. Rafael Varane. So Varane is on for Donny van der Beek. Part of the season lasted 45 minutes. The change for the home substitute on for Vincent Sierra. Will set United.
Well, they should do, you know, down to and they showed us some promising signs towards the end of that first half to the home side. Sabachu, of course, is a striker. Looks as if he's gone up a lot. Meshack Elia, United, for United's opening moments in the second half.
Yes, Sandro Loper, who's got the ball on the fringes of the national. Now Mohamed Kamara, first half.
It looked dangerous in the opening 10 or 12 minutes, and then didn't get much service after that, you know. I think sure that the fullbacks were apart.
It was Christian Fastnacht who had their best effort of the game. Ball bounce. Off around there, and Elias sending it out wide. This is Garcia with the into the penalty area. Cristiano Ronaldo's name was intertwined with the history of the Champions League in the modern era of the game. Rafael Varane as well, the Champions Leagues while he was with Real Madrid. He played some arrival at Old Trafford on a 4-year deal.
Yeah, City's not bad, is it? World Cup winners' medal, of course. And a player that they've courted for a long time. I'm sure they're very happy to get him. At not an overly hefty price either. You know, with just 1 year left on his contract, it was.
Yeah, it looked a really good. It's into the second half. Ronaldo goal, but home side. More of the ball since then. Sylvain Hefti now trying to send it into the box. Guaya was there.
Well, Varane's gone into the middle of the defence alongside who's gone in between Lindelof and Harry Maguire. So it can be three or full backs. They've got two.
Here's Varane, and now back. Elia with the header back into Abisha. It's back at him. Martins Pereira. Just, you know, I think he was looking to see whether there was an advantage that accrued. That wasn't the case. He had a good think about it, the French referee, before blowing his whistle.
God.
Elia with the header back into Abisha. It's back at him. Martins Pereira. Just, you know, I think he was looking to see whether there was an advantage that accrued. That wasn't the case. He had a good think about it, the French referee, before blowing his whistle.
God.
Elia with the header back into Abisha. It's back at him. Martins Pereira. Just, you know, I think he was looking to see whether there was an advantage that accrued. That wasn't the case. He had a good think about it, the French referee, before blowing his whistle.
Thought it was worthy of a yellow. Just stop the play right. Thought it was worthy of a yellow. Just stop the play right.
Mumi and Gamalu. Ronaldo evades the sliding challenge. Now.
Lucky. Sabachu was trying to lay it off. Here and then. Fernandez skips away, nearly.
I think he was going to advantage, but it was just quite a late decision. Maguire. Moment or two. Harry Maguire. Challenging offside. Again. Forward, looking to get Ronaldo. Judged the bounce better than Camera. It's Cristiano. Ronaldo down under pressure. Referee well placed, and he says no penalty.
He's looking for it to actually get back alongside Ronaldo. Blistering pace anymore, that's not a criticism at all. So just try to use his
Hefty, the fullback. And Gus
at half-time, but also it's got to be lined with some bravery. You know, Man United will find it difficult actually to turn on the determined, aggressive side of their game. Certainly, well, that's a poor miscommunication.
और 9 रन दिए। क्या ही जबरदस्त किस्म का ये कमबैक है जहां पर अब देखा
back on the other side to retain the strike. In the end, Ramlin goes for 29, 173 for 6.
Goes for Dinesh Ramlin out for 29. Ball by Wahab Riyaz. Caught by Kadeem Ali. New incoming batsman, number 7, Akhil Hussain. Chindigo Knight Riders needs 33 runs from 12 balls. Wickets in hand 4 to win the game. Change in bowling. Number 96, David Rees will be bowling from Northern End Media Centre.
6 down of the Knight Riders. Here's Akhil Hussain. He's fatted a couple in an innings recently and headed out of the ballpark, so he's no slouch. But the interesting thing, with 33 off a dozen deliveries, and it is going to be David Visa, as we thought, bowl that important key 19th over and then see how many are left for the 20th to bowl it. Who's going to weigh that up? We don't know yet. But Seifert's lost the strike. They were both running, as you do, naturally go with it, and really he didn't want to cross. But because the ball hung so long, out to long off, it's meant Seifert's lost the strike. bizarre. There's little things, those little 1%ers that Ian Bishop goes on about, but all very easy to say from up here. When the pressure's on, you're looking for runs, and the ball goes way up the outfield at long off. So now we've got the new man in, Akil Hussain, to face the informed David Visa. Oh, I want to see this down the line. Very strict on the wides, these two. Samuel B.
Yeah, it's a wide, but the wicket first. Dinesh Ramdan didn't connect it near the middle. And look at Tim Seifert trying to get back on strike, but a little bit too late. The catch was completed. Yeah, the reactions in the dugout. Started off with a wide. Let's see what happens next.
Sweet strike for 6. Just what the Knight Riders needed. Oh, he can strike a ball. Akil Hussain.
And look at the difference in reaction in the dugout, from despair to ecstasy. Magnificent strike from Akil in the slot. And what's it now? 26 off 11, Danny Morrison. Nail-biting affair.
Just what you want in a sudden death semi. Brave, and the experience and class of Visa. So let's see what else he's going to come up with. Just been pumped for 6 with a slot ball, and then you bowl this. Got to get it right, and he did.
It's a length, maybe just a little bit too full on that one as well. He has to pull that length back. Don't get hit straight down the ground. If you have to get hit at this stage, let him hit you square.
Up. Yeah, really important catch. Another big moment. Kareem Aline. You beauty.
Yeah, took the catch of Ramdan, now takes the catch of Akil Hussain into the pitch. Slow ball once again. And this one was always going away from him. Again, kept his composure. Kareem Aline, good fielder. Wickets continue to fall here. Hussain goes for 6, 180 for 7.
Number 18. Champions Lleague Riders needs 26 runs from 10 balls.
It's my mate, the Frenchman, Harry Pierre. He's replaced his good mate, Akil Hussain. Seifert. Gone! There you go! He's on a hat-trick again! Oh, someone getting the best of you, you betcha.
Heading up towards the hour mark, and still Manchester of margins.
Well, because they've not been capable for going through the middle of the Manchester United midfield, back 3 and 10 and a half. They've not been capable for going through the middle of the Manchester United midfield, back 3 and 10 and a half. They've not been capable for going through the middle of the Manchester United midfield, back 3 in centre halves.
His part in the differences for against France in the round finals. Well, the 11 men of young boys enjoying the play. Four-year-old is winning earlier, and he's got an opportunity here to send the ball into the penalty area.
Can you swing it with your left foot? No, he decides not to. Players won't give you too many opportunities.
Switzerland.
And all that as well, Simon. The defenders just get themselves set. Just turn their body out a bit. Heading the ball out is a lot easier. The goalkeeper then has got slightly easier cross to deal with.
Only conversation with Michael Carrick. United a man down from Wan-Bissaka's red card, looking to manage half as well. Guire's free kick is decidedly wayward on this occasion.
Be playing for time.
Yeah, it doesn't fall for Sibachu. Todbo beaten to it by Fasnacht. Back with Lauper and now with Garcia. Allowed to run up towards Sibachu on the edge of the penalty area.
Right, does very well to just flick the ball his body.
Allowed to run up towards Sibachu on the edge of the penalty area.
Right, does very well to just flick the ball his body.
And Fred protests, but
he'll talk himself into the book as well if he's not careful.
It's going to be taking too long with the free kick.
Moran was a guilty man. Like I said, if Harry Maguire was actually playing for time, I was being a little bit flippant with that comment, but United think that they can slay away to. And the referee seems no mood to stand for it.
With 25 minutes to go, hefty for young boy. The atmosphere on the front foot. Earlier away to go. Sibachu waits. In the middle, Fasnacht is at the far post as well. It's in towards Fasnacht, going for it with Luke Shaw. Abisher, a stretch there, still with the home side. Dug out by Dallo. Fastnax just forced away by Harry Maguire. Very much a rearguard action here. Manchester United firm. Elia unable to find a way through. Varane is there once again. The side. What a moment for David Wagner's team. Elia unable to find a way through. Varane is there once again. The side. What a moment for David Wagner's team. Minutes to go. The champions of Cylinder.
Well, Simon, they've on the flanks. I would just think, just shows it's actually not a great cross. Deflection off Luke Shaw. And there's Mumi and Gamalu in front of Rafael Varane, could do nothing about it. Just stick over to here. Goalkeeper body back across it.
The Cameroon international scored against Ivory Coast earlier this month, where he's got himself a goal in the Champions League.
Early ball from Meshak.
It could be another good year for them. Certainly among the favourites. It's a red-hot Champions League competition this season.
It's hard to back against Chelsea when you consider the players they've added to the squad. Already holding on to it. This is what United have got to do, is keep this ball brave in possession.
Foul on Dallo. One back for Manchester United by Fred. Here's Luke Shaw. That is a foul on Cristiano Ronaldo. Gives it a more workmanlike midfield. Lots and lots of work for this Manchester United team to do. Still 18 minutes to go. Here's Elliott. Important little touch by Fred. Martins.
Looks like Matic has just gone in alongside Fred, and then Lingard will be the player that breaks forward.
I must say, Martin, they found it so hard to keep the ball in there. I'm not surprised. Fred's been a little bit of a one-man show in the middle of the pitch in the second half.
Difficult role for him, and they've been outnumbered there. You've got your ball players, but when you haven't got the ball, what are you doing with those guys? So, right call, Fernandes coming off. Perhaps should have done it earlier.
Lingard brings plenty of energy, brings plenty of confidence as well. Scored a couple of goals for England, scored at the weekend against Newcastle.
He'll fancy that he can score if he gets an opportunity as well.
Elliott, Lauper, Arbisher. Here's Garcia, the fullback, with a dangerous ball in. It's kept alive here by Hefty. They're queuing up in the middle for the cross. I think it was a touch in there from Varane that just got it away for Manchester United.
It was, Darren. It was an excellent touch.
Hefty. Here's a chance now for Garcia. Gallo is over there. Fred's over there. Look at the yellow and black shirts in the middle, waiting for a decent ball in. Arbisher. And Gamalu. Here's an opportunity which was wasted by Fastnacht, and it wasn't really what was called for at that particular time. He says deflection, should have been a corner, but the referee from France didn't see it that way.
Well, don't see a deflection there. It's another wild shot. That's let them down a little bit, young ones. Young boys. It's becoming a comedy, this.
16 minutes to go, 16 hard minutes in the Champions League if you're Manchester United in these circumstances. That's an excellent ball towards Shaw, and it got through. Fantastic defending by Elliott, who'd gone all the way back with him.
He really read that well.
No foul by Pogba on Martins, all then by the young boys player on Pogba to win it back again. Ulysses Garcia. And Gamalu. Corner. The young boys players, Martin, are playing this like this is their Champions League final. Who can blame them in this wonderful atmosphere? Simichu at the near post, couldn't quite turn it in.
Well, United have gone to sleep there. Just a quick early look, and half of them not even looking. It's whipped in at that near post. Varane does well, just to stay concentrated, get a right foot on it.
Arbisher. Plenty of pace on the cross, but straight into the arms of David De Gea. It's a character-building night for Manchester United.
100%. It's one of them that you can look back on if you get the right result and say that was a really important game in our season. I just like the look at Lingard. There's occasionally, he gets the opportunity to run through. You just fancy him. The mood he's in.
It's his first Champions League appearance, Martin, since April 2019 against Barcelona.
Did so well on loan to West Ham and then scored at the weekend.
Here's Pogba. It's a free kick.
This is where he shows his class, his strength, his touch.
somebody on the field here, which is why the free kick's got to be delayed. Never ceases to amaze you what goes through people's minds in situations like this. So, you know, Christopher Martins has been involved in everything in central midfield, plays for Luxembourg at international level. They beat Azerbaijan a few days ago. Here he is in the thick of it in the Champions League against the likes of Paul Pogba, thoroughly enjoying the battle that he's involved in.
They see it as an opportunity to prove a point that they're good enough to play at this level regularly. I think one or two of the Man United players are wondering, should they actually go up for this, worried about a counter-attack.
They're in there, Maguire, Varane, Lindelof, Dalot's over the free kick. In it goes from Dalot. It's a decent ball. It's falling here for Lindelof, who couldn't quite get the ball out of his feet to shoot properly. Short of Matic. Lingard. Gamalu, toast of the town at the moment in Bern, scorer of the young boys' goal. Kamara. Good play by Matic, a lot of experience in there for Manchester United, the Nemanja Matic.
Exactly, Darren there uses experience and he takes a foul, which is just as important.
Moving towards a really big 10 minutes for Manchester United in the context of Champions League Group F.
It's all important you get something on the board in that first match.
You can see how creative young boys have been in terms of generating opportunities. 17 total attempts tonight for them. Ellie is down along with Lindelof here.
I think Elliot thinks he's been fouled. It's Lindelof that plays him rather than the ball. I think he's got a case there.
I think the bigger problem for the two of them here is with the Manchester United man, Victor Lindelof.
Well, any kind of head injury now, we just have to be very careful.
Well, don't forget, by the way, the Champions League is back at Anfield tomorrow. Liverpool AC Milan from 7 o'clock on 2HD and Ultimate. And Manchester City, who reached the final last season, start off in their group against Leipzig from 7:15 on 3HD.
I think for Lindelof there, it's not so much the head contact, but when he hits the deck on that AstroTurf, it's certainly not a soft cushion for him to land on.
Fabian Rieder is coming on to replace Christopher Martins here, who's literally ran himself into the ground for the cause for young boys tonight.
Yeah, he's played excellently well in there.
Fabian Rieder is 19 years old, Martin, and he's coming on to make his Champions League debut. Good to see Lindelof up and about. He's a very experienced man coming on. Miralem Suleimani, 32, Serbia international. It's his 88th European match tonight, played for Benfica and Ajax. Coming on to replace the right-back Silvan Hefti, so completely shows the intentions for the final 7.5 minutes here for David Wagner.
Well, exactly. They've just got to go for it, young boys.
By Kamara. Notice that Christian Fasnacht has gone deeper and deeper the longer the game's gone on. Well, he's out here on the right now, replacing Hefti as they've shuffled things around a little bit, with Suleimani coming on.
He's really important, though, to the brains of their team, so he's gone a little bit deeper, and they've got lots of pace in high positions.
Gamalou switched over to the right-hand side for now. He's been operating in the second half in the main down the left. Here's Garcia, intercepted by Matic.
Certainly think that helps with Matic alongside Fred in that midfield, blocking those passes into the front players.
Gamalou. Here's Reader. Lauper. First touch now for Suleimani. And Gamalou takes on Shaw, and a Manchester United and England defender blocks him behind for a young boy's corner. Pressure on the Manchester United goal second half has been non-stop.
It has, and you see the leaders in there, Maguire shouting instructions, trying to keep this one out. Got to get your head to this first.
5 big minutes to dig in for United. Corner taken by Suleimani. Captain's header in there by Maguire. Garcia. Arbisher. Up it goes towards Sibachu, and the shot comes in from Gamalou, who fancied another one. Maybe more time than he thought there. He got the power, but it was always curling away from De Gea's goal.
Difficult to defend because he makes an inside run off of Shaw. He comes onto it, doesn't catch it right, thankfully. I think that's the only thing that's let them down, really, is their shooting today.
Here comes Anthony Martial. You can make 5 changes in the group stage of the competition, so Manchester United have still got a couple up their sleeve. Jesse Lingard completely surrounded. What you would say, Martin, having seen young boys tonight, neither Villarreal nor Atalanta are going to find it easy when they come here in the group.
Well, that's for sure. You know, the conditions, people don't underestimate playing on AstroTurf. It's difficult adjustment. But the quality, the confidence that they played with, freedom. Okay, it's helped them.
Garcia to Suleimani. Excellent defending over there by Luke Shaw. It had to go a long way across his penalty area to get there. I think goes the shot. Good shot too, just chipped away by David De Gea. Superbly struck by Arbisher, has been threatening to do that all night.
Well, he has, and it's a proper shot this time. What fingertip save. De Gea, who's been excellent all night. Yes, it might have gone over. He doesn't know that. He can't take any chances with it.
It was the centre-back, Sandro Lauper, who stepped in to strike it. In goes the corner from Suleimani.
It's almost been defence versus attack since that 35th minute when he was sent off, Wan-Bissaka.
You look at the clock, Martin, 88 minutes, and you'd say Manchester United are almost there, but it doesn't feel like that.
No, you can't switch off for a minute. Especially when the centre-half's going to shoot from distance like that. They're inspired, these players, tonight.
Manchester United are going to make the change. And they're going to take off Fred here for Anthony Martial.
He's worked tirelessly in that midfield. He gets a lot of criticism, but certainly his work rate was there tonight.
So Martial comes on, having scored in this stadium for both Manchester United and Monaco. Final minute of the 90, all eyes on the fourth official to see what's going to be added on here. If they can get themselves over the line, having played 55 minutes of the match with 10 men, Manchester United, this is going to be a significant point for them on the opening night. The fact they've managed to get through without buckling here.
Well, very much so. This is a Manchester United team that is building, wants to win a trophy this year. Martial, by the way, still only 25 years of age, can you believe? With a point to prove. Lingard's gone that little bit deeper now. He'll sit in the midfield alongside Matic.
Ulysses Garcia. Fabian Rieder. Away by Luke Shaw. On by Lingard. Five minutes, Martin.
Well, it's dangerous. You keep giving the ball back to them, inviting them on.
Suleimani. Simichu gets it out again to Elliott. Three in the box waiting for the cross. It's headed away by Maguire.
He's done well there, Maguire, to get back into position.
Pogba was maybe a little bit too calm in the circumstances. Fastnack with the ball in. And there's time over there for Diogo Dalot to clear his lines. Two more changes then. Zessiger and Kanga, the two players coming on. Elliott's run himself into the ground as well tonight. He's being replaced here by Wilfried Kanga. And the centre-back, Sandro Lauper, is coming off to be replaced by Cedric Zessiger. Two more Champions League debuts, Martin. They've handed them out tonight.
Well, and some of these are starters normally, so there's real strength and depth in the squad.
Ronaldo looks on. The crowd have been terrific tonight.
Amazing.
Manchester United throwing. Here's Arbisher. Gallo runs out of room.
I wonder what's written in that piece of paper.
Try and get the winner, probably. That's a foul on Matic. Goes Lingard. Pogba's flick. Here's Dalot. Garcia defends it for young boys and quickly sends it the other way. Wilfried Kanga. Sibachu was in the middle. He had to cross it early. Suleimani running across to try and keep it in play.
Well, they're inspired.
Couldn't quite do it, Fastnack, could he? They absolutely run themselves to death, haven't they?
Frightening. I think when the club of Manchester United stature comes into town, you want to prove you're as good as them. Garcia, by the way, starts that move on the left, transfers it to the right. They've given everything in this game tonight.
Tell you what, though, Martin, Manchester United defensively deserve a ton of credit.
Without doubt. This is where you learn about one another. Just distances between the midfield and the back line, nobody overcommitting, organisation. It is a platform to build on for the future, that's for sure.
And Gamalu, still a bit of work to do. Lingard, back to De Gea, he's left it short, here's the chance, oh, it's a terrible end to the match! Sibachu with the goal, it's a winning goal for young boys, and look at the celebrations of Manchester United, who have defended so stoutly, have given it away right at the end.
Wow, wow, wow. Lingard just switches off for a moment. We said how inspired they were. They're playing with instinct. He takes the opportunity beautifully. Look at the manager, what it means to him. He fired his team up. They've had to wait an awful long time. And it's Lingard, look, he just doesn't see the player coming onto it. He just chips it over the hair as he comes out. It's a sloppy back pass, there's no doubt. But the finish is wonderful. Just hits it into the ground. I thought maybe he was going to chip it, but he's hit it into the ground. And the keeper there can do nothing about it.
Jordan Sibachu with one of the biggest European goals that young boys at Bern have ever scored, and David Wagner, who was a manager at Huddersfield Town in a victory against Manchester United, is going to lead his team to victory on the opening night in the Champions League against United. And Jesse Lingard hangs his head. Cristiano Ronaldo looks to the sky. And Manchester United have beaten on the opening night, Martin. It's a shock result. It all hinged on the red card for Aaron Wan-Bissaka after Ronaldo had given them a first-half lead. Full credit to young boys. Manchester United defended stoutly, but the mistake right at the end has cost them big time.
Well, Sabachu coming on shows you what they wanted. They wanted to win this game, and to win it in the manner that they have. For Lingard, of course he doesn't do it deliberately, but that hurts Manchester United to the core. Fantastic for young boys tonight.
Manchester United are beaten. It's a night where the young boys from Switzerland have become men in the Champions League. Young boys 2, Manchester United 1.
Thanks Martin, thanks Darren. Well, it's clear what it means to those young boys, players and fans. But it also means a great deal to Manchester United as well. This late goal is significant. A defeat against the team they should have beaten cost them in the Champions League last season. And here we go again, Paul.
Yeah, look, it's not a complete disaster, is it? Obviously, ideally, you'd like to go away and win. Jesse, a little bit disappointed, of course he will. I think it all stems, obviously, from the sending off at the, in the first half. United were quite comfortable up to that point. I do think Ollie missed a little bit of a trick. United really couldn't get out there after. It was so deep. I thought he needed to bring a bit of pace on earlier with Martial or Greenwood. didn't do that, and look, they've paid the ultimate price.
This is Shakespeare all over again. Turkey last season, we were here and ruined mistakes. And that's a big mistake at the end of the game from Jesse, who done really well at the weekend. But it just goes to show you, no matter where you go in Europe,
it's tough. Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
You've got to be on your game. You've got to be mentally tuned in. And yeah, they started well, went a goal up, but a decision in a game can change it. It was a bad touch, a bad tackle from Wan-Bissaka. And then the game turned on its head totally.
Yep, lost a man, lost the lead, lost the game. Not the start to the Champions League Manchester United would have wanted. But now we turn our attention to Chelsea. Paul, thank you very much. We're going to substitute Paul Scholes for Ennio Luco straight after the break. And this is the Chelsea team news this evening as they begin their defence of the Champions League trophy. 5 changes, actually, from the weekend. Romelu Lukaku, he starts tonight's match, but the hero in Porto, Kai Havertz, does not start. He's not in the starting 11. He's on the bench. And this is our focus. And the games come thick and fast. When we come back, we'll start our build-up to this game, which kicks off in just 20 minutes' time. Up next, Chelsea against Zenit after Manchester United defeated in their opening Champions League game. See you shortly.
This programme was brought to you by Heineken and Hotels.com, UEFA Champions League official sponsors.
Head over to BT Sport 3 now as 6-time champions Bayern visit 5-time winners Barca. Holders Chelsea are up next against Zenit here on 2. And if you want to keep across all of tonight's games, join James Richardson and the team in the Goal Show.
Do you boss your business? Let's get to work.
Yeah, baby.
It's time for an upgrade. With the right team. And the right tools. Boss your business with HiHi. Visit hihi.co.uk. Boss Baby 2, Family Business, in cinemas, 22nd of October.
So what do we want to change about the world of work?
You gotta do that again, that's awful.
What I want to change about the world of work, let's make things reusable rather than recyclable.
I'd love to see more disabled people in leadership roles.
There's so many things.
When we designed the Volkswagen ID3, we didn't want to change the world. We didn't want to make an impact. We didn't want to leave much of an impression at all, really. That's why we built it net carbon neutral. Introducing the all-electric Volkswagen ID3. Created net carbon neutral.
So, what shall we watch? Oh, look, how about this? Enjoy endless adventures with 2-for-1 cinema tickets Tuesday or Wednesday from Meerkat Movies.
The EasyJet sale is now on, with 20% off 800,000 seats and up to £200 off package holidays. Book now. Holidays at or protected.
Say hello to the modern revival of the iconic flip phone, the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3. And with Vodafone, you can save £504 guaranteed.